So today we have a monster driver battle on Strictly Numbers. We've got the Stealth Plus against the Cobra LTD X LS. Now this was requested by one of my Instagram followers, so thank you for that, because this is going to be a lot of fun and I cannot wait to see the numbers at the end of this one. So you know the format of Strictly Numbers, 20 shots with each, delete the worst 10, leave the best 10 in, exactly the same setup. 8 degrees I'm going to have these are both 9 degrees heads. I'm going to turn them down to 8 degrees. I'm going to leave the heavier weight in the heel of the Cobra, heavyweight, well the slide weight in the heel with the Stealth. Exactly the same shaft. Whew. This is going to be fun. Okay, so we're going to dive straight into it. Up first is going to be the Cobra LTD X LS. So like I said, this has got the stock kind of weight set up, which is the 10 gram weight in the heel, the 3 gram weight in the toe. 9 degree head turned down to 8. And today, I've obviously got a lot of choice here when it comes to shafts, but today we're going to be using the new Tensi 1K Orange 60TX, extremely snazzy looking shaft. So obviously I'm going to be putting this over into the Taylormade when I hit that. But yeah, first up is the Cobra. Let's see what it's got. That was pretty smoked, to be fair, that. I'd say that all day long. Line ball. Woo! 300 carry on the dot. We like that, we like that. Nearly missed that. Yeah. Oh dear, 15 yards offline. Low heel strike. 306. Okay, so that's 20 done with the LTD X LS, where it's actually 21 I think I hit. And I'll be honest with you, I actually hit those shots before I did both of these intros, hence why the screen behind me still looks the same. I was just having a little warm up with the Cobra and I just started hitting it really well and I thought, you know what, let's just start recording some of these shots and just go for it and do it now, and then I'll do the intro after. So that's what I've done. So yeah, now I'm going into the Stealth. Again, got the Tensi 1K Pro Orange 60TX in here as well. Weight in the heel and 9 degree head turned down to 8 as well. So as close to the exact specs as we were hitting with the Cobra. Let's see what this one's got. So you'll see me with some earphones in, A, because it's really loud when you're hitting driver in ear, and B, just to get my groove on. Again, even though same shaft, it feels a little bit heavier. And again, I'll weigh the heads at the end. This will be interesting because I was fading the Cobra and I normally miss right with that. This head is very right side bias, so I might struggle a bit. This one that's at least on the planet. Nice. Whew. We'll take that every day of the week. there's low spin. Wow. That has gone so far. Wasn't even a bad strike. Okay, this is shot 40 with the Stealth, and I'm going to leave it running, and I want you to take note of the swing speed. Right, so this is shot 40, so I'm very warm. I'm going to give it a little bit more. Yeah, that's pretty much that's pretty much the Stealth. Okay, so swing speed was, it's hard work that, 115. So very briefly behind me, I'm going to put the data with no shots taken out. And yes, I've just hit 40 drives in 2 jumpers and 2 t-shirts indoors with the heating on. Don't ask me why. So I'll leave this up for a second. Pause it and have a look if you want, but I'm going to clean it up and then we're going to dive into it in detail. So as always, we're going to start off with ball speed, launch and spin. Actually, first of all, I'm going to cut in a little video of looking down at the driver's address. Comment below, let me know which one you prefer. Right, so this is interesting actually. It's an interesting head-to-head. So we can see LTD X LS at the top, Stealth Plus at the bottom. Ball speed 167, 164 smidge over. So LTD X LS was quicker. Now, I've heard a few other fitters on social say about how quick the Cobra is, but yes and no. You'll find out later why. So launch, the LTD X LS launched a little lower, Stealth a little higher. I feel like that was a little bit more down to me in strike. I felt like I was striking the Stealth maybe a fraction higher at times, but and it was, again, it tended to be a little bit more right side bias, even though I did delete anything that was, yeah, so data-wise, I delete, first thing I do is anything that's more than 30 yards offline, I delete. So read into this what you will. I deleted 4 with the LTD and 7 with the Stealth out of 20 drives. So, yeah, so launched a little bit higher with the Stealth, a little bit lower with the LTD X LS, and spin, interestingly, was absolutely identical to the very one spinach, like identical. So, biggest difference there, obviously, LTD X LS launching a little bit lower, which I feel like if we did that test again, might not be the case so much. Ball speed, a few mile an hour in it. So now, distance-wise, obviously, there's never going to be that much in it, I guess, looking at those ball speeds and launch conditions, but carry absolutely identical. So even though we had a little bit less ball speed with the Stealth, we had more launch. So therefore, that kind of offset one another, really. So yeah, 293, 293. Dispersion up there, you can kind of see Stealth was definitely a little bit worse front to back, and it was a little bit worse left to right, just about. I mean, this is supposed to be strictly data, but I would say you get, the Stealth is definitely harder work, like it is. I hit some good shots that I thought, and the result wasn't great. It's a bit like, I don't know, some low spinners when it was a good swing and actually a decent strike, some real low spinners. I mean, the standard deviation of the spin before I kind of took all the bad ones out was much higher with the Stealth, saying that I've got some 2,900 spinners, and I think the lowest was about 1,000. Whereas the Cobra, it was super consistent with spin. One low spinner, I think, but for the most part, they're all very, very consistent. So, let's see why we've got more ball speed. So actually, before I just weigh the heads, I'm just going to swing weight them quickly for you. So I've still got the Stealth made up from when I was hitting it. So then I'll move out the way. Just going to have to do that a little bit with it. So we are at D3, smidge over D3. And this is super accurate, this swing weight scale. Yeah, so it's literally D3.2, something like that. Just over D3 with the with the Stealth. So now with the Cobra, this will be interesting. I'll keep it running, switch that head over quickly, the old Club Connect system, so straight off with that, straight on with the Cobra. So if any of you don't know how that system works, so we've got one tip and then loads of different adapters for each manufacturer, so every head goes on every shaft, so it makes it much easier for us to not have to buy a million shafts to fit each and every head. So now with the Cobra, so we can see that hasn't moved, so we need to slide that down. D1, just under D1. Yep, just a smidge under D1, so just over 2 swing weights difference there. Okay, so obviously just over 2 swing weights, so essentially we should see about 5 grams-ish, something around that. So Cobra, I think I probably did this last time if you watched the last video, so I think it was 189, yeah, 189.6, so we'll call that 189. And then chucking the Stealth on, we're at 195, so yeah, 6 grams of difference there between those. So I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, I've seen consistently in the data that me swinging like D0, D1 versus like D3, D4 can make a really big difference in terms of swing speed. So diving into the club data, why do we get more ball speed? Now, if any of you saw my Mizuno video, which actually I'll cut a clip in before this showing about head weights. If any of you saw that, I actually chucked the Cobra in at the end and again had way more ball speed, but because I could swing it quicker. Swing speed, 115.6 with the Cobra, 113.4 with the Stealth. So now the reason that I did that last swing with the Stealth and I showed you where I was going at it a bit more is because I was noticing all the way through with all the shots I was hitting, the club speed was down with the Stealth. So I thought, you know what, let's give it a little bit more at the end and actually see what I can get, because I noticed a couple of almost 116, 117 at the end with the Cobra when I wasn't actually really feeling like I was going at it. And I got to 115 when I felt like I was going at it with the Stealth, and that was actually my average with the Cobra. So I believe it's down to head weight. It could also be a little bit aerodynamics possibly, but you know. So, and the other reason is dynamic loft. So we delivered 15.4 with the Cobra and 17.8 with the Stealth. Now again, we actually saw that in the Mizuno video where I delivered less dynamic loft with the Cobra. And again, same shaft. So that head, maybe the CT is quite far forward, maybe it's deflecting less, kind of delivering less dynamic loft, possibly, don't know, but this is telling me both tests, less loft. There you go. So quicker swing speed, less loft, more ball speed. Actually the efficiency, so we were actually slightly more efficient with the Stealth. So if I could swing that faster, possibly I might get a little bit more ball speed out of it. But with the same shaft, I couldn't. And it felt heavy, and I said on that very first swing, it felt heavy. And that's with a shaft playing 45 inches. So if you go and buy a Stealth, or a standard length, 45.75, yeah, it's going to be heavy and you're not going to maximize your swing speed. And for me, I swing at, you know, 115, 116 sort of range generally with a setup for me, and I lose speed with that. So you might lose quite a lot of speed. Apart from that, actually dynamic lie the same, face angle the same, path was super neutral with both, slightly in and then slightly out, but I mean it's 0.3, 0.4, it's hardly anything in it, and actually hit up a tiny bit more on the Stealth, 0.7, but actually delivery wise, apart from a slight dynamic loft difference, there really isn't much there, to be honest. Here we go. Hope you enjoyed that. Another very interesting strictly numbers. It's kind of developing and turning into not so strictly numbers. We're looking at looks and kind of talking a little bit about dispersion and spin retention and all those kind of things as well, which I can't help myself. That's just what I do. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Comment down below. Let me know what you thought. Let me know which one you would game. Is that what you expected? And also what you want to see. Obviously, we've still got so much to do. Shafts, heads, even grips, swing weights, whatever you want. Let me know in those comments.